Welcome to Shore Time. It is Shore Time with Vin and Dave. Vin Avenue with you. With me, as always, is my pal Dave Crossan here as we get going on another Shore Time journey. Shore Time summer. Dave, good morning.
Good morning. You have had your extra cup of coffee this morning, I see. You're ready to go. You're fired up.
I'm trying out different kinds of coffee flavors lately, or just, different kinds of caffeine levels.
Big Sunday.
Of course.
It is Father's Day.
Yeah.
Yes. To all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day.
Absolutely.
For all of the children of fathers out there, do a nice thing. Doesn't have to be a gift.
Right.
It could just be you're going to cut the grass. Maybe Dad cuts the grass. Who knows? And you're going to cut the grass for him. Or you're going to barbecue for him.
There you go.
Or you're going to
always a favorite.
Bake him a cake. I don't know. Just little things. It's funny. Like, I remember as a little kid, I would do that. I'd cut the grass. The problem is once I started cutting the grass, my dad's like, you know what? You got this one. And I never stopped cutting the grass. But it's funny. I think maybe I chip and buy him a tie. He had all these ties he probably didn't like. But, that's old school gifts. Maybe a cologne. I don't know. Like little things.
Yeah, do something nice for Dad today.
Just let him have the day off. Let him lounge. And you said your dad loves to barbecue.
Oh,
yes?
yeah. Oh,
so
year round.
maybe you have him sit down. But then again, he may like it and be like, what?
Does.
I love my barbecuing. It's okay. Just eat my food.
And he knows I enjoy barbecuing as well, but he just loves being behind the grill, whatever, burgers, hot dogs, chicken.
What is the one thing? You had to cook him one thing on the grill. Just one. What is it that he'll eat? What does he like from you?
It's he'll eat anything.
It can't be multiple. It's just one thing. What is it?
I think he likes when I get creative. So if I were to, marinate some kind of steak or beef or whatever and put it on there,
how long will
like
you
a London broil
something?
or
like how long are you do like I have a buddy of mine, he'll steam stuff, he'll get up early in the morning, smoke and then do different things to prepare it. It's an all day event. When you get ready for the grill, how long does it take you until that piece of meat, chicken, whatever, hits the actual grill?
That's the other thing. There's somewhat of a like a debate in our house about who likes what growing up here now.
Okay.
I kind of like it in the medium well variety. I think my dad kind of likes it around medium. I know my mom likes it well done.
Okay.
Different. My siblings are kind of all over, around the medium well, or a little less, a little bit more.
Okay.
On some occasions. So,
but how much prep work before it's like, okay, I have this. Let's say it's a steak. Steak. You like steak?
Oh yeah, love it.
Okay, so here it is. You're going to put different seasonings and whatnot.
Right.
Marinate it and whatever you're going to do it with.
Yeah.
How long prep work until that steak right on the grill?
That's the thing. I guess it depends how much of a flavor you want on it.
I want a lot of flavor. You're not cooking for me.
So
you're
you
cooking for your dad, but how long?
You do it in the morning, right? So maybe after breakfast, put together some kind of. To me, I like to make my own marinade. I know people like to use side of the box.
What are you putting in it?
It depends. Depends on the meat. Depends what I'm feeling that day.
One time. This is it. You only have one shot at this. What are you going to do?
Well, I'm a big fan of using the different Italian seasonings. Like basil, parsley, Italian seasoning. But I'm also a fan of making my own kind of barbecue sauce.
What does that mean?
It's
you got like what?
Little
do you put
ketchup,
a blindfold on and just
apple
grab
cider
things?
Vinegar. Sometimes, believe it or not, I'm like, you know what? I feel like this would be a good flavor pairing. So just pour whatever concoction into there, put it in a bowl, mix it up, and then put whatever steak or meat into the bowl. Let it sit there for a few hours, and then boom, throw it on the grill and inhale all the great scents.
First of all, that is the best. The smell, not only as you're cooking it, but it's just the backyard is full of.
It's like such a great aroma. It's like,
you know what? You get that going. How about, do you ever put a little corn on the cob on the grill?
Oh yeah, man, that's another thing my dad loves too. Putting corn, fresh corn too. Like corn on the cob right on the grill.
I have a trick. You want to hear it?
Not yet.
Well, I don't know if it's a trick. I learned this.
Okay.
All right. So first, before I even go there, corn on the cob. How do you do it on the grill? What do you do? Just throw it on there? What do you do? Wrap it in anything?
I haven't done it. I don't think myself. I know my dad usually puts the husk on like the top rack there.
Okay.
Let it warm up.
So it's fully exposed. The corn. It's not wrapped
and
in
then
anything.
sometimes we'll help peel off the husk or whatever, and then put it on there just so it doesn't burn.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
You might want to write this down.
Okay.
This is going to be your special
Dave's
thing.
corn recipe, everybody.
And I can't barbecue that well, but okay,
he can grill corn.
So let's take the corn, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna with the husk, get that off of there.
Right,
now you
right.
have the exposed corn.
Mm-hmm.
Get some tin foil. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Put tin foil, wrap your corn, but put some water in there. Make it a little moist as you do it, okay? I'm telling you, you cook that up. When you open it up now, it's moist. It's just juicy. It's something special. Then put in whatever, your salt or whatever you want after. But such a basic thing, but by wrapping it and just having the water, just keeps it moist so it doesn't dry out. Again, and just let it cook and let it put on the top rack, if you will.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, and I'm not a good cook. In fact, I'm a lousy cook. I'm just going to put it out there.
But you can do corn well.
But I don't know what it is. It's so simple, and it just comes off. It's beautiful. I'm telling you. Anyway, just a little thought. Not to say what you're doing is wrong. It sounds like it's fantastic, but something about that. It's so basic, and there's something about corn coming off the grill, right? With your hamburger, hot dog, whatever. It's a game changer. You got to have it.
And one thing that we've been planning for weeks, I guess now, is on Father's Day. So I got all my sisters coming over, a brother coming over, and a bunch of the kids coming over. So we're going to do. We did it. I think we did it last August. We did a pizza throwdown on the grill.
Who said what to who? What?
On the grill.
Okay.
So I forget. It's got like these certain, I don't know, pans or whatever that he puts on the grill, whatever. So each of stretches out whatever a certain amount of dough for a bunch of us to make our own pizzas. Not necessarily like the small personal pan pizza you see kids get at restaurants,
right?
But a big enough one, that you can make your own. And the sauce is there. My mom makes sauce, heats it up. Because she usually make pasta.
It's out of a jar. Okay, got it.
Right,
Love
no,
it.
fresh sauce. So
Nice.
she usually make pasta or whatever a couple days before, and then save the rest of the sauce. We'll bring it out. So everybody gets sauce, and then it's kind of fair game after that.
Fair game. Okay.
As much cheese or as many different varieties of cheese,
Love that
vegetables,
cheese.
different meat, different sauces, hot sauce, barbecue sauce.
Hot sauce? Okay.
I mean, all this fair.
Okay.
I think two of my nieces, Emily and Annabelle, when we did it last August, were somehow they elected themselves the judges. They're like
Who won?
9 and 10 years old. I forget who they said won. I think they wanted to nominate their own pizza they made, but somehow everybody else at the table liked mine, but it didn't win. Okay. I forget who exactly won, but like, okay, we've decided who won, and it's so and so. So I'm like, oh, okay.
All right, I got one more thing for you on the grill. You ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Bring it.
Have you ever cooked breakfast on a grill?
I've always wanted to. I haven't though.
Knock, knock.
I think it'd be fun to do
Do it.
I don't know, make an omelet or throw some bacon. Can you imagine the smell of bacon in the morning off a grill?
Let me tell you something. It's so funny. I don't know what it was. I woke up one day and I wanted to have breakfast, but I didn't want the house to smell of bacon, and I looked
You
out.
say that like it's a bad thing.
Well, no, it's not a bad thing, but you know what I mean? It can be a lot, and I like the smell, but I just, for whatever reason. So I looked outside, and of course I see the grill. Mm-hmm. There's a flame. You get a pan. You get a couple pans.
Yeah.
I went out, and I'm like, I'm going to try this. So one pan had the bacon, right? Another pan, I did the eggs.
Okay.
It was fantastic. And you're outside, you're having a good time, just being out, getting the sun, whatever, and you're enjoying your nice, if you like your coffee, your tea, whatever it is, but cook your breakfast on the grill. And I will say this, and I can't think of the name of it, but there are these sheets, if you will, that you can put over the grill, because obviously eggs would, you know what I'm saying? That's not a good thing. Don't do that.
Crack an egg on there.
So if you don't do the actual pan, put those sheets down. Mm-hmm. And I did the eggs, right? I did the bacon. It was unbelievable. And it's funny, I think a week or two later, I had some people who came to visit. They were like, why is this not a thing? Why aren't people doing more of this? So I'm putting my hand up, raising it, and saying, go cook breakfast on your outdoor grill.
I like the idea.
And thank me later.
Yeah.
There it is.
I think I want to go do it now.
But think about right now, scrambled eggs, regular eggs, once over easy eggs, bacon, hash browns. Go throw some hash browns on the grill. Again, if you don't have those sheets, the pans.
Yeah.
And you could always close the top. You want more of like an oven. So you got two things going on here, Vin.
Mm-hmm.
You have obviously the flames. You're cooking away. What's stopping you from dropping the top on the grill? And now you've got the heat coming from all around.
Sear the flavor.
You got it. Right?
I like it.
Right? How
I'm going to have to try it.
That is what you're going to do. Does your dad like eggs?
Oh, yeah.
Does he like bacon?
Yeah.
Does he like hash browns maybe?
Yeah.
I think that's where you get him. I think you're going to get him because he hasn't done it.
Right.
And hey, guess what? Happy Father's Day. Get yourself a cup of coffee. And when you get a moment, come on outside. And boom. There it is.
There it is.
Home run. What do you think?
Sounds like a great idea. Any day of the week, really.
But I'm just saying, morning, breakfast, you could do a pancakes. If you go ahead, do some pancakes on there.
Same concept with the pans and whatnot. That sounds like a great idea.
That's it.
Hey, lots to do for Father's Day.
Just these little things.
You mentioned earlier with the tie and whatever. It brought up a memory. So me and my 3 younger siblings, when we were like little kids. Not like 5-10 years ago. It'd be a little weird.
Sure.
It was cute when we did it as kids. So we'd, I don't know, my dad would be downstairs. My mom would bring us upstairs or whatever, and we'd take out, each of us would take out one of my dad's suit jackets, one of his ties,
and put it
and
on.
then just wear it or tie it the best we could or whatever, and then walk downstairs and, show them and take a picture and everything. So
that's cool.
It was a fun Father's Day tradition.
How many
growing
total
up.
brothers and sisters do you have?
3 of each.
Wow.
So yeah.
So wait, 3 brothers, 3 sisters, or you? Oh my goodness. So if I do the math, hold on, carry the one, do the no.
You're a financial
7.
guy.
Yeah, I'm going to figure this one out. 7 kids.
Right.
Wow, lucky number 7.
Yeah.
There it is. I like it. Congratulations to your family. That's a tremendous family you have there, and I really think this is going to be a special day. Yeah. Well, it is a special day for all the fathers out there.
For all the dads out there.
And I'm so glad we talked about this because at the end of the day, let Dad have a break, whatever he does during the week, the weekend. He's always there for all of us. This is a beautiful time to say thank you.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah.
There it is.
Got a great dad at home.
That's good. He sounds like I met him. What am I talking about? I know who he is.
Yeah,
I met him. Great man,
him.
Fred. Yeah, good man.
Well, we got a great show on deck this morning. We've got the couple dads themselves. Marlboro Township Police Chief Peter Pezzullo will be joining us, and Tom's River Mayor Mo Hill will be joining us as well here on a Father's Day edition of Short Time with Vin and Dave. Great things going. So for everybody up, go make your dad some breakfast. Get prepared dinner. Do what you got to do. Make him a nice large cup of coffee, and turn up.
Get those pancakes going on the grill.
Mm-hmm. Flapjacks and pancakes for everybody. So have a great Father's Day ahead. We've got a great show for you here on Father's Day morning. Coming up next on Short Time with Vin and Dave, 94.3 The Point, 105.7 The Hawk.
Hi, this is Southside Johnny from the Asbury Jukes, and you are listening to Short Time with Vin and Dave on 94.3 The Point and 105.7 The Hawk. And I'm in the Hall of Fame.
Whether you're in the early stages of investing, getting ready to retire, or planning your estate, you need a financial planner who will guide you on a clear path with honesty and transparency. Shoreline Wealth Management understands that you're more than your money, and they strive to help you realize your best life as they align your finances with your goals. Best of all, Shoreline's straightforward approach will include you in the process. Shoreline Wealth Management is your financial anchor, committed to helping you weather life's storms. Visit shorelinewealth.com for more information today. Shorelinewealth.com. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
Welcome back to Short Time with Vin and Dave. Vin Abinu, Dave Crossan with you here on Father's Day Sunday. And with us is a father and a police chief. That is the police chief in Marlboro Township, Monmouth County, Peter Pezzullo. Chief, thanks for coming in this morning.
Thank you, Vin. Thank you, Dave. It's great to be here. I always appreciate
time.
And of course, before we get started, happy Father's Day to you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So a very proud father, right? So daughter at Rutgers and a son who's going to college in Minnesota to play football, right?
Yes. My daughter is going to be 19, and she's just finished her freshman year at Rutgers, and then my son will be off in August to St. Paul, Minnesota, to go to the University of St. Thomas.
Division
Nice.
1?
Division 1.
Very impressive.
That's awesome.
Yes, I'm very proud of the young man, both my children. So
football, he played in Monmouth Regional, right?
No, actually, he played for St. John Vianney.
Oh, that's it.
And he actually has the Ocean Monmouth All-Star game coming up July 13th, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
That's
So
fantastic.
that'll be fun. It's going to be played somewhere in Brick. They haven't given us a venue.
Oh, there we
Okay,
go.
very nice.
That's usually a fun contest. All the seniors played in Ocean and Monmouth County, the Gridiron Classic there.
Yes.
The best of the best. One final time to suit up. With
In
some
high
of
school,
your
yeah.
So that'll be a fun game to watch before he heads out to St. Paul. So we want to talk about summer safety and everything, of course, here as we head through the middle of June toward the end of June. 4th of July coming up in a couple weeks. And already people are enjoying the beaches and the boardwalks and different parks and different events and everything as well. Lots being discussed as well, from drownings, whether at pools, lakes, beaches. And I want to start there because I think it's important, just a continuing topic. Obviously, nothing that we've heard, come out of Marlboro, but other towns across the state as well. But what is it that you need to stress or would like to stress to residents and visitors kind of coming through Marlboro, whether it's, going to a park, lake, at a swimming pool, big pool party, some things that you need them to know and to be aware of, or if they're going off swimming somewhere, generally, that they should be aware of with, going with family, going with friends, going alone, making sure there's people there.
I think when you just look at residential pool safety, because Marlboro really doesn't have large bodies of water.
Right.
We always stress to our residents to make sure when they're having parties or gatherings with juveniles especially, just keep an eye on all the different age groups, because children might not all have the same swimming skill set, and if a child gets tired or if they're horsing around, something bad could happen, and it only takes a minute. And if you're really not paying attention, I know a lot of the families in Marlboro, if they do have parties, they've actually hired like a teen lifeguard. Or
It's a great idea.
Yeah,
it's very smart.
And it's beneficial, and that way you could worry about the party and
Correct.
let them worry about the safety end of things.
And I think it's a great thing, because I think it's always important to be able to have people around watching, no matter how old or how many people are there, because there's always that chance, I guess, that something, God forbid, could happen, and you want to be able to know what to do, and in a particular situation, to have people around watching and keeping an eye on things.
That is so smart. I mean, just to jump in there a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about, adults, they get distracted, and then you have kids in the pool, and I love the idea of having somebody that's their focus to make sure that
they have a dedicated set of eyes. It's a genius idea.
Very smart.
So, I mean, with any part, so we'll stick with, I guess, the party theme, if you will. Obviously, everybody wants to get together, have fun, family barbecues or big get-togethers with friends, or, so on and so forth. But obviously, I imagine you'd say the same that Chief Little and Tom Zimmer said a couple weeks ago. Have fun, but be responsible, be respectful as well. So, what are some of the things that you and your department are looking out for this summer in particular, to make sure that everybody can have a good time, but they're also being responsible, and not just with drinking at different parties, but also at the particular hour of the night, so that it's not an all-night thing.
Yeah, I think that from the perspective of hosting parties over the summer and ensuring that everybody gets to and from safely. Nowadays, we're given the opportunity to have Uber, Lyft, whatever it may be. It allows people to not have to worry about am I going to be the designated driver? Are you going to be the designated driver? Do I have to be concerned about my designated driver? Are they going to slip up? And that's really saved the day. I think promoting the fact that leave the car at home, leave your keys at home, rent an Uber, do it as a group of friends, and that way you could share the cost. And that way we can ensure that we're not going to have anybody under the influence or maybe less sharp driving behind the wheel.
And that is such a great point with Uber and Lyft. Whatever you decide, it's not like, well, it's just one cab company, and the cab company's like, well, we won't be there for another hour, and people make a bad decision because of that. With Uber and Lyft, I mean, in a lot of cases, 5, 10, 15 minutes, you've got somebody there, so there isn't an excuse.
Easy enough to set up, too. I mean, that's a point you brought up as well. It got me thinking that right before New Year's to end 2021, you and I had that similar conversation. Obviously, in the advent of all these different ride-sharing services, to be able to go to and from parties or different events, just go onto your phone, go to the app, and you know,
and
boom,
you can
have
share.
a ride
I mean,
instead
to your
of
point, like on the app, it's like you have 4 people. You can kind of put in there, okay, we're each paying 25% of the bill or whatever it is, right?
Yeah. And you could, Venmo each other now?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, technology has made it so much easier.
Right.
And, I think that if people just put some forethought, it'll save lives, and it's a much safer way to travel and enjoy yourself.
And also, too, you find with the Uber drivers or Lyft drivers, you get a lot of people from out of the area will come down here because of the opportunity to make money for themselves. So you have an abundance of drivers that will come from North Jersey or Pennsylvania or wherever to be available. So the inventory and the availability is a lot greater.
Yeah.
It'd be a business for them.
Yeah.
What are some of the signs of possible drunk driving, like somebody's under the influence of alcohol behind the wheel? What are some signs that they would typically show, either driving wise? Is it too fast, too slow? I mean, obviously, I think there's the stereotypical weaving in and out of lanes and everything. But what are some of the possible signs of drunk driving on the roads that your officers look for?
So when an officer's looking to justify making a motor vehicle stop for driving under the influence, or what it could even be careless driving. So
Sure.
It's not so much speeding. It's usually somebody that's driving probably less than the posted speed limit, and because their faculties aren't as sharp. And yes, it's weaving in and out of traffic. It could be just within the lane. You could see an individual that's struggling to maintain that stability of the vehicle. And then obviously once they make the motor vehicle stop, they're going to interview the driver, and throughout the interview, they're going to assess how well they can put together words, how well they can have a thought process, answer some very basic questions, and then they have psychophysicals that they put an individual through to test their overall level of possible influence or sobriety.
Is it more challenging now with marijuana being on the table more, that it's been legalized, with the drinking aspect?
That's making life very difficult for law enforcement.
Oh, sure.
Legislators, I understand that, they did what they did for the citizens of the state of New Jersey. And we're not debating that. I think that it's difficult for law enforcement personnel to enforce DUI or driving under the influence of marijuana because it's not something that we can say, oh, I smell an odor of alcohol on your breath, right? So marijuana, once you've smoked it, you can still smell it in the vehicle. And then from there, yes, we could probably still utilize psychophysicals to let us know that they're not 100% in control. But then we've now had to revert to a drug recognition expert. Those are specially trained officers, and they will actually go through a series of scientific tests that they go through training. And through those tests, they can assess whether the individual is under the influence of marijuana or other drugs.
Now, is it more difficult with the legislation that is, that kind of prevents officers from, searching a vehicle for additional marijuana that may be in there, that you sense that you have a really good suspicion of it, or that somebody is driving high under the influence of marijuana, and what kind of questions are allowed to be asked there? Are you allowed to ask them out of the vehicle? Yeah,
there's definitely a limitation there, but I wouldn't say that that's going to be directly related to detecting whether or not they're under the influence and if it's affecting the way they operate a vehicle. So yes, legislation has changed to what level or extent we can search, and yes, questions that we can ask. But when we talk about just the fact that more people now, due to the legality of marijuana, are going to be operating. Because they're free. They no longer have to hide in the shadows and maybe do it in their backyard or in their basement. Now you're going to have people just every day smoking it like a cigarette and operating.
Is that a big concern for you this summer, with people just going out while high or under the influence of, after smoking marijuana, whatever, 1 joint, 2 joints, or ingesting some THC oil or so on and so forth, and everything that's now legal under this marijuana reform and a marijuana bill, with it, more car accidents or more, incidents at different parties and businesses with people who are showing different signs of behavior while high because smoking marijuana is now legal.
Yes, and I'm not speaking statistically because I don't think there's really any statistics out there currently.
Sure.
I'm just speaking from, I'm not going to say personal experience either because I've never used. But I think you're going to see throughout the summer more people like day smoking and operating as opposed to day drinking and operating. And we have to understand that there's going to be that loss of attention. And that's imperative when you're operating a motor vehicle. It's that lack of attention. We have so many things that draw our attention, whether it's our cell phones and our radios and whoever's in the car with us, things of that nature. And now on top of that, you're going to have that effect of marijuana on the brain and your ability to really focus. And what people need to understand, especially in a town like Marlboro, is during the summer, that's when the kids are going to be out. That's when people are going to be running and biking and doing things of that nature. So that's where my concern is that daytime operating under the influence and having more people flooding the streets of Marlboro Township or a town like Marlboro Township. And it just takes a split second for somebody to, run out in the street or that individual not to be as sharp as they could be. And we're talking about a possible fatality.
Do you feel like there needs to be more patrols? Obviously, people drink during the summer every summer, but with everything now more free-flowing with marijuana, that more patrols are needed, especially along bigger roads like Route 9 or other parts of Marlboro, to just look out for off behaviors, marijuana or alcohol-related or just careless driving overall, to make sure that the cars are doing what they should be doing, the drivers are, and that everybody is safe who's either driving near them or people who are walking near pedestrian streets in the burbs.
Would I like to say that I can get more officers on the streets? Sure, but everything comes with a cost.
Right.
We tend to focus more on a change in our behavior. So during the summer months, especially during the daytime hours or weekends when people are going to be out and about, we just change our philosophy and our approach to reactive, proactive type patrols. And we'll just focus more on the motor vehicle stuff.
Chief, Dave and I have to go to a break. Now, we can go out into the hall for a break, grab a cup of coffee. We don't have to go that far. You're welcome to join us, too. But can you hang with us?
Yes, definitely. I appreciate it.
Excellent. More Short Time with Vin and Dave and Marlboro Township Police Chief Peter Pezzullo right after this.
Hello, this is Chef David Burke on Short Time with Vin and Dave on 94.3 The Point and 105.7 The Hawk. And if you could see us, you'd know the three of us have perfect faces for radio.
Whether you're in the early stages of investing, getting ready to retire, or planning your estate, you need a financial planner who will guide you on a clear path with honesty and transparency. Shoreline Wealth Management understands that you're more than your money, and they strive to help you realize your best life as they align your finances with your goals. Best of all, Shoreline's straightforward approach will include you in the process. Shoreline Wealth Management is your financial anchor, committed to helping you weather life's storms. Visit shorelinewealth.com for more information today. Shorelinewealth.com. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
Welcome back to Short Time with Vin and Dave. Vin Avenue, Dave Crossan with you, and with us here this hour is the police chief of Marlboro Township, Peter Pezzullo. We've been talking about the effects of drugs, particularly marijuana and alcohol. But Chief, I want to start this segment off with another part of the vehicle traffic conversation as well. Whether somebody's under the influence or not, somebody could be completely sober, just driving here and there, and come up with a number of distracted driving, cell phone or otherwise, or maybe they just don't see somebody coming out. But what are some things that you want to relay over to people out there driving through Marlboro, vehicles, watching out for each other, watching out for pedestrians, and then on the flip side to all that, what are some things you need pedestrians to know so that they're not walking out into the street when they shouldn't be?
No, it's definitely a two-sided argument. I think both the pedestrian and the motor vehicle operator need to be equally alert as to what's going on now that the summer months are here. For a motor vehicle operator, in a town like Marlboro, you're just going to see a lot more people getting out there, whether it be exercising via running, walking, biking. You're going to see a lot of people walking their pets, and a lot of students or freshly release students for the summer are going to
summer break.
Yeah, they're going to be out there riding their bikes and their skateboards.
That's a big one. They're riding the bike.
Yeah,
very dangerous.
So, and we get it. It's a change, and everyone needs to be mindful of the fact that they're going to be out and about, and it's just a matter of broadening your spectrum and making sure your peripherals all work, and maintaining speed limit. That's important. A lot of our town is broken down based on residential and non-residential. So I think that from a non-motorist or a pedestrian standpoint, obviously crossing where they should be crossing and riding their bike with the flow of traffic as opposed to against the flow of traffic.
Just cutting right over and saying, hey,
excuse me.
Well, I think that happens sometimes with pedestrians or people riding their bike. They're thinking, well, cars have to really watch out for me riding my bike. But if, all of a sudden somebody comes straight out in front of a car, it's, bad things can happen.
It's almost not fair at that point.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. But I think for the most part, most of the residents understand how to work together, and we don't see as much as, let's say, a summer town like a shore town, where they get that huge influx,
right.
Yeah.
and everyone's down there and they're pretty much walking everywhere. But we get our fair share of bicyclists and people that like to get out there and jog. So.
With regards to obviously behavior in the summer, obviously more people are out of school, going on vacation, taking days off here and there, more places to do, lots of fun things to go to and everything. So obviously on a nice day, you want to get there as soon as you can and enjoy the day or whatever. But obviously that everybody can get a little impatient at times. But what are some reminders for drivers as well to kind of keep things in mind so that they're doing what they should be on the road and being safe not only for themselves and whoever else is in their car, but obviously everybody else out there on the road or pedestrians, people on their bikes, to make sure that everybody's being patient, that they can, even if it takes a few extra minutes, get to where they're going in one piece, so to speak.
I always start with, knowing your surroundings. So if you're obviously within the town that you live in, just make sure you understand the roadway and how it may turn or what type of vehicular traffic and pedestrian traffic you might, possibly see. But then next move right to the fact that it's about paying attention and the whole distracted driver, which we discussed earlier, making sure that you're not worried about your cell phone while you're operating. Make sure you're, within your confines of your vehicle. If you have other passengers, that you're paying attention to what you're doing and not what they're doing, type of deal. And just, try not to rush and speed to get from point A to point B, because you probably wish you took it back if, God forbid, somebody got hurt.
Of course. And we've hit on so much in the safety topic as well, Chief, but I want to open it up to you as well. Some things that you want to address with anything going on this summer in Marlboro, some safety issues or some topics that you want to discuss to get out there to residents and people going to and through from Marlboro. Yeah,
a huge topic that I'd love, and I appreciate the opportunity, love to discuss.
Sure.
Has to do with motor vehicle thefts.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a daunting task, at least for Marlboro Township. I'm sure a lot of the towns in the state have been dealing with the same issues. Our mayor, Mayor Hornick, he's done a great job. We have a great partnership, and he came up with a program called See Something, Say Something, We'll Do Something.
Sure.
Okay. And it sort of works hand in hand with what I've been promoting, which is, just lock your vehicles, take your key fobs inside, and even lock your residence, that kind of thing. But together with the See Something, Say Something, We'll Do Something, our residents are being asked to work with law enforcement and be the eyes and ears, or that extra set of eyes and ears. If they see something out of place, whether it be a vehicle that's not normally in their neighborhood, that's trolling the neighborhood, and they could tell it's just out of place, give us a call and we'll show up and we'll do the investigation. And it could be something as innocent as somebody's lost.
Right.
But it also has led us to situations where we've gotten people that were here specifically to do bad.
do you find that a lot of people leave their cars unlocked? I mean, it's so easy now with the key, key fob or whatever.
Right.
Hit the button and walk away.
Marlboro residents. I understand it. I grew up in Marlboro. I've been a Marlboro resident for going on 39 years.
There you go.
And I could tell you right now, you get that feeling, right, that you live in a utopia.
Okay.
That bubble, and you're like, I could leave my car door open. Who's gonna take my car?
Right. Okay.
I live in Marlboro.
Right.
But they found out the hard way that certain individuals come down and they're just innocently
Like out of their driveways type or on the
right
road?
out of your, it doesn't matter. Yeah,
Okay.
they'll walk onto your property and pull a handle.
Okay.
And if that door's open and
That's
they
it.
could start the car, they're gone.
Okay.
So, it took a little while for the residents to really catch on. But since they've done so, we've seen a marked drop
Wow.
in stolen vehicles.
It's good.
The attempts are still there. It's difficult for us, and we've ramped up patrols to really target that whole issue.
Sure.
Okay, so we've been doing a very proactive attack, but it's difficult for us to be everywhere.
Right.
So we're still going to get those that slip through the cracks, and they're still going to try to pull handles. So the attempts are still there, but residents are reporting them. Residents are videotaping them because they all have Ring doorbell. That's
there you
another
go.
beautiful
Video
point.
evidence.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And we've been catching the bad guys. So I mean, we've made, since we started this whole thing in March.
Okay.
We've made 13 arrests.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So that's been huge.
That's great.
And we've recovered a lot of the stolen vehicles. But more importantly, we just rolled out with the mayor. We rolled out a program where Marlboro residents are registering and taking an oath that they are going to lock their cars, take their key fobs inside, secure their residence, and they're going to see something, and they're going to say something, and we're going to do something. So when they register online through the Township website, they're getting a lawn sign that pretty much states all those points.
Oh, wow.
And our officers deliver them, and they get to meet the residents, and they put it in the front lawn there, and it's really taken off. So the residents, it's a beautiful thing because I think we've seen something positive come out of something that wasn't so positive. Right.
Good point.
And there's been a strengthening of the bond between the department and the residents that we serve. So it's been good.
Chief, have you found with the car thefts or vehicle burglaries that it's a particular types of cars, or is it more just crimes of opportunity where, wherever the criminals can, they pull a handle, oh, this car's unlocked, I'll just take it?
They're definitely looking for certain kinds of high-end vehicles. We can't exactly pinpoint, but mostly high-end vehicles. But it is still a crime of opportunity because
Sure.
they're showing up in town, and they're sort of walking through developments, and usually at night. And what they'll do is they'll just pull handles. They'll go right through the development, just pulling handles.
Well, one thing too, I know with cars, you have the side mirrors go in if it's locked.
Yes.
So if you see the mirrors out, that usually will be like, well, okay, most likely that car is unlocked.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's almost inviting them to, come take a look at my car.
Right.
Take it for a ride.
Please bring it back.
If you don't mind, bring it back.
Bring it back.
Take it around the block, bring it back a little.
Maybe fill up the tank while you're at it.
Exactly.
Hey,
These gas prices, I don't know if that's
gas prices
true.
rising above $5. If you want to pay for my gas, Chief, or whether it's car burglaries or something else, because obviously with the new program, the whole see something, say something. Should people just call the main line, the 536-0100 number if they see something, or is it as opposed to calling 911, just call that main line?
It really just depends on the situation.
Okay.
So, I mean, obviously, if you happen to witness your vehicle being attempted stolen, you would call 911. But a lot of residents, if they see a vehicle driving through the neighborhood, they're not going to call 911. They're going to call our main number. And, dispatch will handle it and just send an officer out there to check it out.
How valuable, because you mentioned the Ring doorbells as well earlier, but if people happen to get video or pictures during one of these types of crimes or something else, how valuable is that?
It's a game changer. Video over the last 10 years has provided law enforcement with a many number of benefits. whether it's body-worn cameras, whether it's in-car cameras, and now when you have residential cameras
Right.
and the Ring doorbell program, we're able to get license plates, makes of vehicles, time frames of when vehicles might be coming to the neighborhood.
Good point.
So from an investigative standpoint, it really does benefit us in solving a lot of crime, or at least giving us leads that we wouldn't have had in the past.
We've talked certainly about safety on a number of fronts as well, Chief, this summer. But in terms of any kind of events going on in Marlboro, National Night Out or other things, is there anything that the police department has going on this summer, or things that you know of that are going on in Marlboro Township that you want to get out there?
Well, sure. We participate in National Night Out. That's coming up in August. We also have Marlboro Day. That usually comes up in September.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like a back-to-back for us.
Nice.
We just participated in the Torch Run.
Okay.
Which was for Special Olympics. We enjoy participating in that. It's always an honor to play a role in that. And as a matter of fact, one of our officers, our community policing officer, James Caulfield, you may have met him
a couple
of years back. So he was asked by the state of New Jersey to be a representative for the Torch Run Special Olympics in Florida.
That's awesome.
And he just got back. He just got back like tail end of last week. So he had a great time there, was able to chaperone and be an ambassador to all the athletes. It was just great to see, and we're very proud.
Chief, as we start wrapping up here, what is it that you like being a chief of in Marlboro Township? What is it like to be a police officer in Marlboro? Some of the things that you enjoy about working with the Marlboro community?
Well, at this stage of my career, I don't even know if they would consider me an officer anymore.
Well, it's Chief.
Chief a lot of my officers are like, you're a pencil pusher. So, no, as a chief, look, I'm honored. It's a position you hope to get in your career, or at least I've always set that goal. And it's an honor because, like I said before, I grew up in this town, and to serve the residents of Marlboro, let them know that I take so much pride in Marlboro Township. And look, I'm blessed to have some really amazing police officers. They go out there every day. They work hard. They're intelligent. And I mean, I'm lucky.
That's awesome. Great town in Marlboro, and you've certainly done a great job leading the department the last couple of years. And yes, I remember Officer Caulfield. I'm sure he got a nice tan down in Florida too.
Oh yeah.
Chief, one final question, because obviously it's Father's Day and everything. So we mentioned at the beginning of the conversation, that your daughter at Rutgers and son going to St. Thomas in Minnesota to play football. But any particular barbecue or celebration going on Father's Day today?
We're just going to keep it simple.
Nice.
We're actually, it's funny, we've blended both Father's Day and like all the graduations. So
that's a big event.
It's going to be. It's not
Nice.
at my house, thank God, but it'll be at my sister-in-law's house.
Nice.
It's going to be where all the dads, and then I think there's how many of them now? 5 cousins.
Oh wow!
And they've all graduated now. So
nice, congrats.
Yep. And they're going to be celebrating sort of both at the same time. It'll be
great.
Interesting.
There you go.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that'll be a fun get together today.
Yeah.
Looks like good weather. So hey, Chief, happy Father's Day to you, and thanks for coming in today to discuss summer in Marlboro.
Vin, thank you. Dave, thank you. I appreciate it. It's always an honor to be here.
Appreciate you taking the time. Thank you.
Likewise. Always great speaking with you, Chief. More Short Time with Vin and Dave coming up next.
Hi, this is high performance executive coach Dana Cavalier and former director of strength and conditioning for the New York Yankees. And you're listening to Shore Time with Vin and Dave on 94.3 The Point and 105.7 The Hawk. It's always great to hang with champions, and these two guys are champions.
Whether you're in the early stages of investing, getting ready to retire, or planning your estate, you need a financial planner who will guide you on a clear path with honesty and transparency. Shoreline Wealth Management provides clarity through the complexity with offices in Manchester and Manahawkin. Shoreline Wealth Management is your financial anchor. Visit shorelinewealth.com for more information and start your financial journey with comfort and security today. shorelinewealth.com. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, SIPC.
Welcome back to Short Time with Vin and Dave. Vin Ebenu, Dave Crossan with you. We were just greeted Marlboro Police Chief Peter Pezzullo, who just joined us a few moments ago, talking about summer safety, different things going on with driving under the influence, parties, pool safety, driving to and fro, pedestrian safety as well, National Night Out, vehicle burglaries, motor vehicle thefts, and the new program they have out, See Something, Say Something. So make sure you reach out to Marlboro Police, go to their Facebook page, and go to the Marlboro Township website and get involved with that. So, I mean, like you said, 13 arrests related to vehicle burglaries and car thefts over the last couple months alone. And, of course, Father's Day, so we talked about the pride of being a father. So a great visit from the Marlboro Police Chief, Peter Pezzullo, Dave.
Well, one thing that was brought up, which I thought was so important, you hear about these car burglaries. And, I know myself, I just hit the button on my car fob or whatever you call it to lock up, and you make the assumption that everybody's doing that. But in these nice communities, you're thinking, I don't have to. It's not going to happen to me.
Safe neighborhood.
But as we discussed, it's happening out of people's driveways. Mm-hmm. And one thing, too, with some of the cars, when you lock it up, the side mirrors actually come in. So if somebody's driving by and they see the mirrors out, that's an invitation to at least take a look to say, hey, that may be a car I can steal because it's unlocked. I see the mirrors out on the side. So even if it's in your driveway, don't think that, hey, nobody's going to come on my property and take it. It leaves it open for an invitation for somebody to take a look. And because of what's been happening, don't take it for granted. Go ahead and lock those cars up.
It's a sad situation the last couple of years, even before the pandemic, with these car thefts, vehicle burglaries. I mean, you go back 10, 15 years ago, it wasn't as rampant of a problem where you're like, all right, if I leave the windows open in my car, obviously during the day, okay. But now in the last few years, people are, I think, starting to get more cautious and more, I guess, defensive, smart, if you will, with double, triple checking, making sure that their cars are locked and taking a look around their vehicle to say, all right, I don't want to leave anything on the seats or on the console, put all my valuables. Obviously, if it's something that belongs in the car, keep it in the glove box or wherever else. But obviously, if it's something that belongs inside, just bring it with you. Don't leave your wallet or anything like that in the car.
Correct. And also, too, the other point that was brought up was these doorbells, the Ring doorbells that now have the cameras. So think about how great that is. Somebody comes to your house or makes an approach. Now you actually have video of possibly a car in the neighborhood that shouldn't be there, or the car that came up with somebody that tried to steal the car, or a package off your front door, whatever. What was mentioned was able to get possibly license plates, possibility at least get the make of the car, the type of car that can be great importance to maybe catch the person. And what was it, 13 arrests so far?
Right. The video pictures have made such a huge difference. And you mentioned just overall in the last few years, I mean, if you have a Ring doorbell and it captures it, great. I mean, if you're in a situation as well, obviously, I think Chief Little or somebody mentioned it a couple weeks back, in a situation where you're not putting yourself at risk and in a safe position where you can capture video or grab a picture or, mentally remember the description of a license plate or a vehicle or something like that and call police, it would help them respond that much quicker. They're like, now we have this much more information.
Yeah, at least, even if it's the make of the car, even if it's on a license plate, be like, okay, look out for this gray van, or I'm just making that up, or something to at least say, okay, maybe in another neighborhood, there's this gray van, what is it doing here, or whatever the situation is.
And if it's an active crime, like Chief Pezzullo said, that's a situation to call 911. But I mean, if you see something suspicious going on in the area, you don't think it's right, it's out of the norm, you feel like there's something going on, just call the regular police line. Obviously, not just in Marlboro as well, any town that you live in Ocean, Monmouth County or beyond, I feel it better to call the police line, the police department, and at least speak with a dispatcher or somebody working at the department, or email them, whatever, to say, hey, you know what?
Don't recognize this car.
Something's not right. Strange. Maybe it's a car. Maybe it's just a suspicious person walking through the neighborhood that is up to something suspicious or so.
And I don't recognize it as one of my neighbors. Yeah, I get it. Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you don't be calling the police on every single thing. You never know somebody's situation, so scope it out a little bit. But obviously, if you think it's something up to no good, you see people up to no good.
Go with your gut.
Graffiti,
if something doesn't feel
spray
right,
painting, even something misdemeanor lies helps. Because neighborhood watch, right? You look out for each other, help each other, keep the community safe. So just do your part. And so many police departments or prosecutors' offices have these anonymous tip lines as well. So if you're a little hesitant, send it in anonymously, and then you could help solve a crime, no matter how small or large scale it is. So great conversation with Chief Pezzullo, and, just some important safety reminders as well.
I agree. Good interview.
Yeah, absolutely. Always great to have him. He was a great guest. We've got another great guest coming up next hour, Dave. It is the mayor of Toms River, Mo Hill.
Nice.
He's joining us to discuss some summer events, and I want to ask him about the redevelopment project that's been going on. We heard about it earlier this year, last year. So see what's going on in Toms River, not just in the summer, but year-round as well. Obviously, they got antique car shows, so lots to discuss with Mayor Hill coming up, and that'll follow Dave's financial wake-up call next. So grab that coffee, get the breakfast going, turn up the volume. We got more Short Time with Vin and Dave coming up next.
Hi, this is Christy Pierce-Rampone, former U.S. women's soccer team captain, Olympic gold medalist, World Cup champion, and Point Borough High School alum. And you're listening to Short Time with Vin and Dave on 94.3 The Point and 105.7 The Hawk. Tune in for some real conversation with Dave and Vin. You don't want to miss this.